Oh, please, 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 please. Just stop watermarking your pictures. How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and as you may have guessed it, this video is me urging you to stop watermarking your pictures. Now, this is a controversial subject, and I guarantee and I hope for some people to, sort of respond to what I'm saying and object to what I'm saying and object with their opinion as to why, because this is my opinion and I'm always interested in hearing other people's opinions. Now, as it is my opinion, I'm going to get straight to it. In my opinion, this day and age, everybody with a mobile phone has capacity to crop an image, okay? And most watermarks, lo and behold, tend to be in the bottom left or the bottom right hand corner. Therefore, it's very easy to crop an image and get rid of a watermark without ruining the composition of a picture. Some other people will stick their watermark at a really low opacity, slap bang in the middle of the center. Like, okay, you've protected your image, but you've also ruined it at the same time as well. And it hasn't really protected it, because anybody with access to a computer can go and download a trial version of Photoshop if they really wanted to get hold of your image and use it. Just understand this. They could go and download a trial of Photoshop or some post-production software, and they can very easily use a heal tool and with a little bit of time painstakingly get rid of a watermark, okay? Now, you have to appreciate the amount of effort someone would go to do that to an image. So then you have to ask yourself, if your image is worth that much, like surely your profile as a photographer will be just as huge, okay? Because the amount of work and the artistic value that you've done, if people would go to that extreme to, use your image, how big must your profile be? And photographers with massively, oh man, I love an ice cream. I absolutely love an ice cream. And for photographers that have a profile of that extreme, they don't watermark their images anyway, because their watermark is in their style of photography. So you have to question, like, what is the actual purpose of a watermark? And it's to protect an image, okay? It's to protect an image being used by somebody else who doesn't have copyright to do so. So if you really want to protect your image, the best thing to do is register the copyright of that image online and make sure your information is stored in the metadata of that image. And this is, again, my opinion. Watermarks were first designed back in 1282. 1282. 1282. The first watermark was used in print, and it was done in Italy, and it was a way of creating authenticity to a process, and that was in print. Most media this day and age is digital, okay? So, the idea of watermarking print makes perfect sense. Money is a great example. Look at money. All money is hologrammed or watermarked. It works in print. In digital, it doesn't, because files are just not safe. The only way you can really make files safe is using like cryptocurrency, things like that. Look, I can't remember what the word is with cryptocurrency. Let me Google it. Blockchain. So yeah, things that have digital files that work on a blockchain system, they are protected. They have protection. Everything else on the online space is open, and it is open for somebody else to get hold of, manipulate, replicate, strip away metadata, do whatever they want with, unless it's protected by a blockchain. So you just have to ask yourself, like, what is watermarking your digital file doing, aka your picture? It isn't doing anything. Like, there is a way you can use a watermark to try and protect yourself, and that is if you have produced images, you're still waiting for payment, and you transfer those images to a client with a watermark over it, okay? You're kind of making sure that they can't use those images before they've paid you. Again, you have to question yourself, do you really want to be working with clients like that? No, you don't. If there is no trust at that part of the relationship, there isn't any trust at the beginning part of the relationship. That's not the relationships you want in business. So again, you ask yourself the question, like, is a watermark absolutely necessary? And I tend to find as well, like, in terms of like what goes on in the photographic world, there are some amazingly high profile photographers that use watermarks, especially concert and music photographers, and this is no disrespect to them in whatsoever. This is only my opinion. If you are disrespected by this, I can only apologise. It's opinion. Take it fucking easy. Like, And a lot of those event photographers will watermark their image because they're worried about press getting hold of them and using them, stuff like that. And I do totally get it. I do get it, but I just don't think it's worth it, because if you exist in that circle and you notice somebody is using one of your images, then you just approach them. You know, a watermark, it doesn't really do anything, because if they're going to use your image, they're going to use your image. Having a watermark just means that they're going to crop it in a slightly different way. So your image is then, you know, the image they use is a slightly different image to the one you've actually put up, because they've cropped the fucking watermark away. So is it really worth it? Now, in the photographic world, early on in people's career, what they do is they go online and they do loads of research and they're like, oh God, I've got to get a watermark. That's what I need. That is what is going to make me a professional photographer, a watermark. So they go and get themselves a watermark, which is obviously a snazzy signature of their name with maybe a photo with a camera in the middle and some aperture blades and stuff like that. Typical cliche shit. And then they go slap bang, bottom right of the image in an opacity, of like 60, 70. I'm a professional photographer. They slap it all of their work and then they upload it and they stick it online. Now, if you've watermarked your image and you've stuck your image on something like Instagram and Facebook, your watermark is you're not protected because you've given it to them anyway. That image has no protection. You've handed over all the fucking rights of that image to Facebook and Instagram. So why are you watermarking your images? It keeps going back to that question, and I get really hyped up about it because I see a lot of amazing images ruined with a watermark, and I see a lot of photographers early on in their career making themselves more and more unprofessional. You know, have confidence in your work and your style, and, you know, just accept, you know, in photography, in your career as photographers, you know, there is going to be replication of your work somewhere in the world. Now, you can't be everywhere. I can't be in Nepal, I can't be in Bangladesh, I can't be in Moscow, I can't be in Spain, I can't be on the internet in every single place because the internet is so vast. So if I put my work out onto the internet and somebody gets hold of it and uses it in a far-fetched corner of the world, my watermark's going to do fuck all from them deciding to use it or not. And if I do find out they do it, I know it's my picture anyway. I've got the original file, so if it does come to a dispute and I find them like a needle in a haystack, then I can dispute it. But really and truly, in terms of my value and worth as a photographer, like, the pursuit for that is probably worthless. It's a waste of your time doing it. If you are a top-end fashion photographer and you're working with like super top-end models and things like that, and your images that you are producing are designed to go into like a top-end magazine or on their websites and things like that, the value that you're being paid for those jobs anyway, the reality is you wouldn't give a fuck chasing copyright infringement over a picture being used on some social media channel in another country, because you've already been paid thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of pounds for the shoots already by the people that have commissioned them. You know, so I can go into it for loads of different reasons. I personally don't think watermarks add any value or any real protection to photographers that use digital imaging. You know, if your stuff is only going to print, then of course, yeah, using a watermark may protect you to a certain degree. You know, but if you are shooting mainly for digital, let's face it, most of us are. You know, having a watermark doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't really protect you. So the other problem I find watermarks have is, you know, people are lazy, okay? Watermarks are non-interactive unless you put them as an interactive feature on a PDF where you can actually click it and it sends you somewhere. On your photos, a watermark does not lead anybody anywhere. And it's very rare someone will see a picture and go, whoa, I need to check out that photographer. Let me go use his watermark to research him. Probability is they're sat on a social media platform, they have found your image in which you're tagged in, and they've clicked the link to follow through to your page. Because the watermark is not interactive, people will rarely go and search you. If you make it interactive, people will find it, you know, and that's kind of one of the other flaws of a watermark. It's not interactive. It doesn't serve any real purpose in the digital space, you know. So it's kind of, again, like you ask yourself, why the point of having a watermark? As I said in the beginning, I'd be really interested to other people's opinions. If you think I'm talking absolute trash, please put it in the comments down below. Like, but honestly, you know, it's just my opinion, so don't be offended. I'm really looking forward to the engagement off the back of this, and if you haven't subscribed, now would be a great time to do it. If I have upset you, now would probably be a great time to unsubscribe as well. No worries, till next time, take care.